Hi. What's happening? Everybody, what's up? It's your boy, Jared Leto. Wait a minute, where's my thing? Yeah, where's my air horn? Oh, actually, I don't think... Oh, yeah, I picked it up. I was going to say, I don't think Audacity is picking up my in voice effects, but... or not voice effects, my sound effects. These ones. But yeah, it is. So anyway, hey, what's up? I'm on video and I'm also on audio. I'm recording this into Audacity as well as recording a video. What's up? It's Friday. Chilling. I was recording a new audiobook. I just recorded a few of them over the last couple weeks and uploaded them, and they're available for purchase on Audible. So good for those writers. Made some money off one, and I'm doing the royalty share with the other two. So did that. Got some writing done over the last few days, and been hanging out. So I thought I broke my ankle. Being a silly grown man on a skateboard. Being one of those weird old guys who still likes to play with useless wooden toys. Turns out it's not broken, but I am just fucking destroyed, dude. My body is roasted right now. I'm in a lot of pain. Just took a shower. And now I'm chilling. And I was recording. Sorry, I'm fucking with my microphone. The video can see me, but any of you audio listeners will be like, God damn, this audio is horrible. And I agree. My audio is horrible. Something I've been dealing with for years at this point, trying to get my audio dialed in. And to be honest with you, it's just not easy to do. It's difficult. Good audio is difficult. I mean, good enough audio is pretty easy, but once you start being really invested in it, it actually becomes really, really difficult to kind of dial in your audio. Oh my, excuse me, my hair looks like shit. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Oh shit, I just realized this video isn't going to be usable. I had my fucking I had my desktop unmuted in OBS because the last time we were doing a live stream, I ran into the issues of using my interface, and I forgot to mute the interface, and so I was like, well, fuck it, I'll just run it to desktop, and then I won't have to remember to mute and unmute in the interface. It'll be right there in OBS. So I'm listening to this old Joe Rogan episode, Joe Rogan number 1768 with Robert Epstein. Or Epstein. I don't know. Steinstein. I don't know how to spell either. I know you, or I think, I don't know. I think you can spell it Steen or Stein. And I think they're distinct because there's like Einstein and then there's Weinstein. Like Harvey Weinstein and Albert Einstein. But I don't know. And I don't really give a shit. I don't care about proper spellings. I don't care about proper pronunciations. I'm a degenerate. And it is what it is. But so I'm listening to this old Joe Rogan episode because it's just something I put on while I was recording an audiobook. And then my neighbors right outside the window, that's right there that you can't see on the audio because you audio listeners can't see anything at all. And you can't see it on the video because it's behind my camera. But there's a window right there. And there's people making a lot of noise just outside my window. And my microphone was picking it up, and it's fine. Look, it's fine. I'm in a suburban home, not an office. I do not expect you know, uh, absolute silence. I actually like that I can hear shit through the window. Um, Sometimes I'll hear the neighbors' kids like giggling and playing and shit, and it's like, I don't know, it reminds me that I'm a human. And I can also hear the birds. So when I get up in the mornings and I come down to my desk and start doing desk things, I hear the birds, and it reminds me like, oh yeah, because that's one thing I've been trying to do since we've been in this new house, is wake up and sit outside for a bit before I do anything else. And a lot of the times I do it, but sometimes I forget to do it, and I just come in here in the office and sit down and start working. But then I can hear the birds chirping through the window, right? Because birds like to chirp with sunrise. So it's like, oh yeah, put down the keyboard, because that's what I do. I hold up my keyboard and I type. No, but I'm like, put down the keyboard, put down the phone, grab some coffee or tea, and sit out on the front porch and watch the world wake up. So I like having this window right here. I like that I can hear the outside world. But sometimes when I'm recording, it makes it impossible to record, at least temporarily. Did I ever fix this? Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, I did, except wait a minute. That's a problem. So again, audio viewers, you can't see. Oh my God, dude, I didn't ever finish this, brother. Oh my gosh, brother. Dude. Okay. Golly, this is horrible, dude. All right, I mean, I guess that's better, dude. Sorry, audio listeners, you have no idea what's happening. I'm messing around with my scene in OBS, and I was just checking to see if I fixed this scene, and I clearly did not. And it just looks like stupid bullshit. And anyway, yeah, why am I recording video and audio? What am I doing? Explain yourself, Nance. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck indeed. So, yeah. What's up? I like to hear the outside world. I like big butts, and I cannot lie. I like what is this? Oh, I need to just delete that. Yeah, brother. God, yeah, I gotta stop. I gotta stop messing around with OBS, but I don't want to. I want to have all this shit figured out, but I don't, and that sucks. Okay. Yeah, I am gonna stop fucking around with OBS. This is fucking stupid. Initially I was like, oh, I can record some audio. I looked at Substack. I just posted a story there yesterday. Actually, I posted the part 1 of the story. Hold on, fucking with the microphone again. I posted part 1 of the story 2 days ago, and I published part 2 of the story yesterday. I'm new to Substack, and I've been messing around with it over the last several days. And I am aware of the fact that you can now go live on. I do have to mess with the video. Am I even going to use this video, or am I just going to upload the audio? I'm probably just going to upload the audio, but there's a video of it too, for whatever reason. Anyway, I know that you can now do live video on Substack. that is a thing that they have started doing, but apparently it's only for iOS users, and I don't have an iPhone. I don't have an iPad. I don't have an anything. I had an iPod. The last time I had an iPod was in 2009, maybe 2010, around that time, the early iPod Touch. I didn't like it. I was gifted a Zune. And similarly, I didn't like it, so it's not like I switched over to Zune. I just didn't really have a need for an MP3 player. I did have, before then, I think I had one other iPod, like one of the small ones, not one of the big ridiculous ones, but I had like a smaller iPod. And I had a couple other MP3 players, throughout the years where those were a thing. But I also had, I was really into PDAs, personal data assistants. So I had like the Palm Pilot, the Palm Trio, the Palm Clio. I think it was called Palm Clio. Anyway, I had Palm devices, and early smartphones. They didn't call them smartphones back then. I don't remember what we called them, but yeah, cell phones with touch screens and slide out keyboards and all that shit. Smartphones. They are smartphones. We didn't call them smartphones at the time. I don't know what we called them back then, but it was, whatever. Anyway, I had them. I had lots of them. So, I had already been like in the habit of using my phone to listen to music rather than an iPod or a discrete MP3 player, even though I had experimented with them. So that was the last time I had an iPod or any MP3 player. I did have an iPhone once in 2014, early 2014. Actually, it might have been late 2013. Like I'm talking like, actually it was December, probably 10th of 2013. And I had it for less than a month because I fucking hated it because I was already an Android boy at the time. I did get the first Droid when Droid, that was their sound. When they made the Droid first, it sounded like this. What? Oh shit, where'd that go? It sounded like that. Droid. It didn't sound like that. Actually, it sounded like No, it didn't sound like that either. It sounded like... Did it sound like this?
Or this? Or this? What did it sound like? It was a robot voice. And it was like...
It was like
Droid. Droid.
I just fucking don't. I don't even know what effects I'm pressing. What buttons I know what buttons I'm pressing. I don't remember what effects are assigned to the buttons because one thing I do, I have this pad that's part of the Rode Streamer X interface, and it has pads on it, and you can, customize. You can add sounds. You can also add
voice effects. So when I press the button, I have this voice effect that changes my
voice. I have been experimenting with using that while recording audiobooks. I did use it for one. I don't love it, and I haven't mastered it yet. So maybe I will use it more and more in the future, but for the time being, yeah, I just have to get better at modulating my own voice instead of relying on the computers to do it for me, to change my voice to get different characters to do fiction. But the majority of the audiobooks I've been recording aren't fiction anyway. I recorded the Time Energy audiobook, which is not fiction. I'm currently recording the Underground Theory audiobook, and I've also started on Mikey's book. Those are not fiction. And I've also recorded a couple other academic books. And I've only done 2 pieces of fiction, and I'm also working on a couple pieces of poetry, a couple poetry collections as well, which aren't really fiction. They're also not really nonfiction. They're poetry. I don't know. But yeah. What the fuck was I talking about, dude? I was talking about something. Is this a podcast? Am I making a podcast right now? Am I recording a podcast? Maybe, dude. I don't know. Oh, that's the thing. Yeah. iOS devices. So I had an iPhone for less than a month once, 2013, at the end of that year. And I hated it. So I got rid of it and I went back to Android. And I've never had an iPad. The last Macintosh computer, or Apple computer, I guess, I don't know, was an Apple II back in the day with the black and green GUI. And then after that, I switched. I had no choice in the matter. But I ceased having access to Apple IIs, and my family actually got an IBM PC. So I've been a PC user since, Windows 3.1, 3.2. Although I did have access to Macintosh computers in schools and stuff, but by the time Apple kind of became the Apple that we know today, I didn't have Apple. I didn't use Apple. I don't use Apple. I am a PC/Android user. I like the ability to have a more custom experience with my technology devices. And it's actually funny. This Joe Rogan episode, number 1768, with Robert Epstein, I think is his name. Could be Epstein. Yeah, Epstein. I don't fucking know. And I don't care. This guy, 1768. They were just talking about how Apple is like better with data, which him and Joe Rogan were like, this dude's whole thing, I guess, is just shitting on Google, and it's like, yeah, I'll cheer him on while he's shitting on Google, but to do the one-sided thing and be like there are better alternatives is just fucking stupid. That's just stupid behavior. That's simp behavior. It's the same shit with like Huawei when that was a big deal, the Huawei ban, and now currently the TikTok ban. Well, I guess not currently because no one seems to be talking about it anymore, even though it still is a relevant issue. I believe the legislation is still up in the air about whether or not they should ban TikTok, but the whole kind of like scare with Chinese technology. They're like, yeah, Huawei's evil, they're spying on you, and TikTok is evil, they're spying on you and turning your kids gay. Yeah, I mean, sure, but like everyone is doing that. That is the only game in town. That is the fucking business model. So when this Robert Epstein guy starts talking about like, yeah, Apple's better than Google with data, I was like, come the fuck on, homie. You don't know what you're talking about, dude. And it's funny to say that, right? Because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm an idiot. But yeah, I know enough to know that it's not like Apple is this like ethical company who cares about data protection. One thing they go back to is how like Apple refused to work with the FBI to like get the data of like mass shooters and shit. And I don't know enough about those particular instances that they bring up. They talk about the one like the Palo Alto shooting. Apparently that was like a big meme where there was a Palo Alto shooter and the FBI couldn't break into his iPhone, and Apple was like, sorry, homie, we're not going to hook you up. But then they did. I don't fucking know. But look, man, there's no such thing as privacy. There's no such thing as data privacy. Stop like huffing farts and thinking you can get on a fucking platform that is private and is secure. Like security, privacy just don't exist anymore. The only way to be private and to be secure is to not use any of these platforms and products. That's the only fucking way, dude. It's just like language. The only way to avoid ideology is to not use language. And I mean, sure, you know, go live in a bush. Go play out your feral child fantasies, you know, go be Mowgli in the Jungle Book, go be Tarzan. Live with your ape cousins, or the wolves or whatever. But if you are like for real, legit, we live in a society. Wah, wah. But like that is the price we pay. That is the cost we pay to use language. We are susceptible to ideology. We are in a socially constructed world. Relativism is true. Now, look, we could go into this, and I have gone into this in the past, but right now, that's enough, right? Social constructivism. The world is socially constructed. Now, I'm not going to do like the so-called affair type shit. That was funny. I'm not going to be one of those people who says like tuberculosis or whatever didn't exist until we discovered it. So King Tut, even though he died of tuberculosis, didn't die of tuberculosis, blah, 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 whatever. Relativism is wrong. Subjectivism is wrong. Social constructivism is wrong. But there is a difference between like a general constructivist hermeneutic and this kind of like absolute social constructivism shit that, you know, that gets taken for, you know, relativism, subjectivism, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the only way to avoid falling prey to the ideas of others is to just not use language at all. The only way to avoid, or I guess the only way to ensure privacy and security of your personal information and data is to not use these products and platforms. So anyone who's trying to tell you that they have a secure network or they have a phone that is de-Google-fied and the blah, blah, blah. And oh yeah, use this browser, use Brave browser, use Opera browser. Oh yeah, if you use Linux and Debian, you can fucking this and that. And look, man, there's stratification here. There are degrees of betterness and worseness when it comes to invasion of privacy and, you know, breach of security. It is true. I'm not here saying it's all the same thing. It doesn't matter anyway. You should educate yourself, and you should attempt to be as careful and conscientious as you can be, because there are ways that you can mitigate your exposure, but there's no way at all that you can avoid exposure unless you just get off all of these, you know, programs. You know, you invent the car, you invent the traffic accident, traffic collision, you invent the ship, you invent the shipwreck, you invent the internet, you invent invasion of privacy. That is just the way it is. It is in the nature of the thing itself. So this fucking silly old man, this is just a silly old man, you know. It's okay. It's okay, homeboy. You can be a silly old man. I am also a silly old man at times. And a naive fool at times. It's okay. I'm not the smartest person in the world. You can see my dogs. Audio listeners, sorry guys. You cannot see my dogs. I have dogs, and they are very cute. Why? I need to know this. What is up with my video? Why does my video look like shit? Is it just Is it just that I look like shit? Hold on, audio. Take a second. Here, actually, watch. Listen to this fucking, listen to this shit, bitch. Ugh, I should have muted, dude. Hold on. Yeah, that was gross. I'm over here making gross mouth noises and shit. Are you concerned about the fate of the Electoral College? Hell nah, bitch. Burn that bitch down, dude. Report spam. Block. Stop, you retarded homos. Stop. Okay, sorry. I just texted I said stop, and then I texted a slur. It's not a slur. Oh, excuse me. But it is one of the words that you get in trouble for saying. Or whatever. Yeah, whatever, dude. I don't care. So I'm over here rambling and ranting. I don't remember what I was ranting and raving about. This dude. This dude's a silly old man. What am I ranting and raving about? Oh, I think I got distracted by OBS. Hold on. Okay, I coughed. And now I'm back. Okay, so what was I saying? TikTok, Huawei, people who were like, yeah, we gotta outlaw Huawei, but we're gonna let like Motorola and General Electric like do the exact same shit that Huawei is doing, and we gotta outlaw TikTok, but we're gonna let Google and Meta do the exact same shit. It's just silly. It's a feature of modern life. Like people act like it is a bug. People act like it is a problem that we can solve. And it is a problem. I agree, it is a problem. Like I'm not up here saying, yeah, fuck it, dude. Just, take your pants off and, let your naked body just kind of hang out into the wide world. I'm not saying that. It is a problem. We do need clothes. We shouldn't all be nude. Shouldn't bare our souls. But it's not a problem that can be solved in the way that these people, seem to want it to be solved. It legitimately is a feature of the medium itself. And lately, I've become more and more convinced that it's not just a feature of the internet. It's not just a feature of social media. It is a feature of language itself. And we, being the discerning agents, of discerning conscious agents that we are, have to use that discernment to navigate the world. It's so odd to me that there are so many people who seem to expect the world to just work the way they wish it worked. I don't know, man. It's just so weird. And obviously it's like a emotionally charged topic or whatever. I have, family members. I have relationships with older people through work and just through life who always would like talk shit about me when I was a kid. And even, now to a far lesser extent, but from time to time, I'll still get these comments and the whole like narrative at millennials are like weak pussy babies and, participation trophies and this and that. And, I spent many years as a young punk rocker being told I was, foolish and naive and stupid. And, people would be like, hey, buddy, it's your world. We're just living in it, and the world doesn't revolve around you and fucking blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like emotionally charged or whatever. And like, I want to smack all those motherfuckers and be like, but you guys are the ones who are like throwing a hissy fit. You guys are the ones who like want the world to, you know, be this certain kind of way, and you can't handle that, it's not. Like, you fucking freak the fuck out. You say and do like insane, retarded, crazy bullshit, and you like hate fucking people. You know, you hate young people. You hate, you know, people who are just different from you, from your default baseline. Like, anyone who fucking, you know, ventures too far off your pre-approved path, like you fucking hate them because they represent something that really bothers you deep down. And I just want to smack him and be like, look, bitch, you're being a bitch, dude. And I'm a bitch too. Like, I can be a bitch too. You know, we can all be bitches at times. Everybody gets to be the bitch sometimes, and it's okay. Sometimes you have to be the bitch. It bothers me, man, because like the world we live in now, like, does revolve around you. Like, you. Now I'm interpolating you, listener, dear reader, dear listener, you. The world that you live in does in fact revolve around you. And it's fucking crazy, dude. But I think all the changes that we've gone through, like with mediums, the world, our situatedness, all that stuff, like, I think all of it hasn't qualitatively changed. It's been a quantitative change. I think this is in the nature of language, and it's ecstasy, and it's logical. It's dialectics, right? It's even cybernetic, right? Even though, like, okay, that's a big distinction. The question is, it, you know, do we live in a cybernetic world, or do we live in a dialectic world? And for me, what that means, and shout out to Michael Downs of The Dangerous Maybe. He's been on Medium for years. Go over to Medium and give him a follow. I don't think he's here on Substack yet. I hope he will come to Substack. His shit's a banger. He could hope, you know, it wouldn't be that difficult to just fucking migrate his Medium over to Substack. So maybe we'll get Mikey over here on Substack. Shout out Michael Downs of The Dangerous Maybe. But his thing, cybernetics, cyber positivity versus dialectics. And that goes back to the course, the introduction to Nick Land that he taught, that goes up to his ongoing seminar, that goes to his upcoming courses on Zizek and Land. What is it, cyber positive, or is it dialectical? And I don't know if he thinks they're incompatible, but I know that I think they're not necessarily incompatible, because I think it's somewhere on the spectrum between the two, and it kind of includes features of both dialectics and cybernetics. And what is cybernetics? Cybernetics is just this kind of like positive, additive world. A world that, I mean, Deleuze and Guattari probably did the most work, but it's like desiring production. And so it's always about like everything is in this state of like positivity. Fuck yeah, I guess it is kind of difficult to explain this in plain language. So dialectically, and again, this is going back to like a more Zizekian version of like Hegel and dialectics, but like A equals not A. And what does that mean? That means A, the identity of thing A. Like A is the thing, and it's only through this process of moving through all that is not A do we come to the final identity of A. So that is to say that it's not like you start with nothing and then you add on predicates, you know, and you add on qualifiers and you add on characteristics, and then you have this like amalgam of predicates and qualities and qualia that is A. that would be cybernetics. Like cybernetics is this additive process, at least when it's being used in this context. Dialectics is this negative process where you do start with a thing because you have to take the thing for granted. You take the thing for granted, and it's only through this process of negation. It is not this, it is not this, it is not this, it is not this. Only through this process do you get to the identity of A. Now, this thing that you presuppose, that you posit and presuppose, it can in fact be a lack. It can in fact be a negativity. And like properly, it is a negativity. It is an empty space waiting to be filled. And it's through this process of negation that it becomes filled. Because when you negate something, it's also an affirmation. It's not this. And because, we live in a finite world, then it really does become, well, it's not this, so it's necessarily this other thing. And you go through this, it could be infinite process of negation to arrive at the identity of a thing. Now, you're not actually doing this long division version of negation every day. You take it for granted. And that's what language does for us. Language gives us like this shared database that we can take for granted. So you take a lot of shortcuts, you do a lot of, we use a calculator. Instead of handwriting out the long division, we have calculators, scientific calculators in the form of language that we can just rely on. Look at the cheat sheet. Okay, this is this is that, this is that. So that's identity. Identity and being are deeply connected. They often, I think, get conflated, which, is probably dangerous. But I think they're similar enough in that, like, being is this, like, what is being, right? And being in the world, like being this embodied, languaged, time sensitive thing, that's being, right? And so is being this kind of negativity that, or this, open space that gets filled up with, being itself or with the world. And it's only through this back and forth process, this interaction of the negativity and the world itself and the kind of flows between them. Is that what being is? Or is being this like, this additive process? What am I talking about, dude? Who knows? I'm not doing a good job explaining. And that's okay. I'm actually getting like really tired. I'm ready for a nap. I feel like shit. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I feel like shit. My body hurts really bad. And why did I bring up cybernetics and dialectics? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Thank you. I'm here all night. So anyway, okay. So I was recording an audiobook. The neighbors are doing something with loud power tools and air compressors. Substack. Okay. So I've been experimenting with Substack recently. And I know that on iOS devices, you can do live video. That's a thing that they recently implemented. And I was like, oh shit, that's interesting. I don't have an iOS device, so I don't have access to it, but I Googled, I Googled live video on Substack, and it brought up an article, and it was like how to go live on Substack. And then it said on iOS and Android devices, click the orange button, click live, and you're set. I was like, oh shit, they put it on Android. So I picked up my phone and I opened the Substack app because I prefer the desktop site. I don't love doing everything on my phone. I know some people prefer phones. Some people prefer desktops. I'm sure there are some people who don't have a preference, and I'm sure there are some people who prefer some things on mobile and others on desktop. Like I think I prefer I don't know, YouTube on my phone to the desktop site. It just always seems, I don't know, desktop YouTube seems to have more issues than the mobile app. So I prefer mobile YouTube. But I definitely prefer desktop Substack to the mobile app. I rarely use the mobile app. Like all the posts I've done have been posted via desktop. And yeah, I prefer the desktop app, but they want to become something that gets used very, very heavily the same way that I and probably many others use YouTube, which is similar, probably more similar to the way people use like Spotify or Pandora. I don't even know if Pandora is still a thing. Probably Spotify. Like I use YouTube probably more similar to the way people use Spotify because I'm listening to a YouTube video like all the fucking time on my phone. I do have YouTube Premium. I've had it since fucking back the Google Plus days, right? YouTube Red. I've had YouTube Premium for a long, long time. So I can have it on all day long, playing in the background, and I don't get ads and all that happy horse shit. Which is, I think, is similar to how people use Spotify. Like people listen to podcasts and audiobooks and music and shit on Spotify all day long. I listen to, podcasts and audiobooks and interviews and shit on YouTube all day long. And Substack wants to do that, and so they need to, have their mobile game on lock. And I get it, but I just don't use the app that way. So I prefer desktop. But anyway, so I open the app on my Android phone, and I clicked the little orange button, and it didn't give me the option to go live. It just said, note or long form post. And I was like, God damn it. Apparently they still haven't updated the Android app. And they probably will get around to desktop last, I imagine. They'll probably roll out the Android app live video feature hopefully soon, and then probably sometime after that they'll roll it out for desktop. So that's cool. But yeah, so that's why I decided, like, well, why don't I just mess around and try to record, some audio and or video specifically for Substack. This is not a YouTube video that I'm recording. Honestly, I probably won't use this video at all for any reason anyway. Probably going to delete it once I'm done doing this, just because it's shitty. It looks bad right now. And yeah, but I thought, like, well, I'm going to record audio specifically for Substack, and then I'm going to upload that audio just because I'm trying to experiment and trying to, like, get a feel for the platform and kind of get a feel for what I'm, comfortable doing on the platform or whatever. So that's what this audio is for. It's a long ramble that I intend to post on Substack, though at this point I'm not sure if I want to, because I haven't really said anything. I'm just kind of like noodling around, and yeah, I don't know. Like maybe there's someone who likes to just listen to the sound of someone talking, and I understand that, because I definitely do sometimes just want to hear the voice of another. Now I don't know, like making it explicit, I don't know if that's weird. Like I don't know if that'll like I don't know if anybody will kind of feel some kind of way about that. Maybe I feel some kind of way about it, but also it is true. There are many, many times when I don't really care about what I'm listening to. I'm not really paying attention. I'm doing something else. And I just want that human voice in the background, volume in that sweet spot where you can hear it, but it's not distracting. You're not paying super close attention to it. So it doesn't really matter. It's coherent enough that you can kind of attenuate and tune in and like follow, but it's also like, loose enough that you don't have to be paying like super duper close attention to it. Which I guess is what podcasts are, right? Like they're sometimes, you stop everything and you listen to a podcast and you pay super close attention to it. But then other times, the podcast is just the background audio, to keep the silence at bay, right? To, avoid tinnitus, which if you don't know what tinnitus is, good for you. I have tinnitus. Sometimes it gets really bad. I think a lot more people have tinnitus now than maybe ever before in the history of the human race, because people wear earbuds all day. And I think that probably fucks with our ears. I think that's like fucking our ears up, and like more and more people have tinnitus. And it sucks. Like in the past, tinnitus really only came from like hearing damage that was from loud noises, exposure to like super loud noises. I think it could also come from like infections, and I don't know, maybe sometimes you could like get psychosomatic tinnitus. It would just kind of crop up for no apparent reason. And I'm sure there's tons of ways you can get tinnitus, but I think the majority of people who have suffered with tinnitus got it due to exposure to over loud noises. But I think now there's probably a lot of people who have some kind of weird fucked up earbud tinnitus. And that sucks. So sometimes you just want, noise in the background to fight against the tinnitus. And sometimes you just want noise in the background to keep the silence at bay, because silence can be unbearable. Silence can also be awesome. Silence can be grounding. Silence can be liberating. Silence can, inspire one to deep, deep thought, but it can also be horrifying. And so people want something going on in the background. People want not so much the distraction, but it's just, I don't know, it's a different kind of human connection, because it explicitly, it's like the human voice. It's not music. Like, I think that's different. Like, if you just want background music, that's a different thing. That's not what I'm talking about. Although, we can do that too. Hold on. There we go. Right. We got music here too. It's very, very quiet. Oh, I'll turn it up. Yeah, I'll turn it up. But yeah, we got music too, but we're not doing music. We're not here to listen to music. We're here to listen to me talk. So the human voice, it's a specific, thing that is different from music. And that's what I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about background music. I'm talking about the human voice. And so it's not like you want a distraction. It's not like, oh, I'm going to turn this on because I want to be distracted from whatever it is I'm doing right now. In fact, it's probably closer to the opposite. It's like, I'm going to turn this on because I want to be able to focus on what I'm doing right now. And so I'm going to turn on this person talking, but I'm not going to pay attention to them. I'm just going to have them talking into my ear, and I'm almost going to ignore them. Like it almost is a type of like ignoring. though it's not ignoring. Like it's funny, dude. It's weird. It's like, yeah, dude, welcome to the fucking future, man. We're all weird, fucking disconnected, needy freaks. And welcome to the party. Hold on. I gotta make a noise. I had to make a weird, gross throat noise. Weird, gross throat noise. Weird, gross throat noise. Weird, gross throat noise. Weird, gross throat noises. Wouldn't it be funny if I had
if I had this going the whole time and hadn't paid attention? And wouldn't it also be funny if I didn't bother to go over this and edit it, and I just exported it and then uploaded it, and then it was this voice the whole time, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna post this. Look at me, I'm all happy and proud. But it's this the whole time. Wouldn't that be fucking funny?
I think it would be pretty funny. Yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah, my neighbors are still out there. So I can't resume recording this book, at least right now anyway. And I feel like shit, dude. My body hurts, but I'm also just I just got super duper tired. Maybe it's nap time for me. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll take a nap and then get back to work later on. Yeah, I don't know. What are you doing? You. I'm talking to you. You. Whoever is listening to this right now. Whoever at 45 minutes or whatever into this. Whoever you are. What are you doing right now? What are you thinking right now? Are you writing? Are you painting or drawing? Are you editing video, editing some kind of project? Are you working? Are you exercising? Are you doing chores? What are you doing? I don't know. Recording stuff with the intent of uploading it. It's interesting because you have to assume an audience. I can't just sit here and talk to myself, even though I kind of have been doing that. You have to assume an audience. So I have to assume that there's someone listening to this right now, but I'm also pretty sure no one is listening to this right now. Yeah, so I have to create this imaginary listener in my head. And usually, that's enough. Just okay, that's them. That's the audience. That's the imaginary audience. They're there. They're in the distance, but the stage lights are on. The house lights are down. So I can't see them. I can't make them out, but I know they're there. I can see their silhouette. I can't see any detail. And I'm going to perform. And that's enough. But then, when you start talking to yourself about nothing for an hour, you start to get in this weird headspace and really wonder who is listening to this and how is this landing? How are they receiving this? And even why? Why are you still listening to this? And I assume with a lot of the things that I've published, I assume you're listening to it just as that weird, bizarre, non-contact type of human contact where it's just a voice. You just want a human voice to keep you company while you're actually doing something. And so you're not really paying attention, and you're paying enough attention. If I'm reading a book, you're paying enough attention to get the book, but you're not paying attention to me like I kind of disappear into the medium and I just become like disembodied voice man in the headphones. And it's not so much that you're like listening to me. It's just that you're like listening to whatever it is that is going on. I happen to be the one, like doing it, but you're not listening to it because you're listening to me. You're listening to it because it's something to listen to. But yeah, like you start to get all weird and like be like, who is listening? What are they doing? Why are they listening? And I don't know. It's just weird. But also, like, I think I get it. Like, I think it is this non-contact type connection, not non-connective connection or whatever, where it is just the human voice. And I think I like that. I think I'm actually gonna go write about that. This new type of non-connection. I don't know. It's interesting. I like it because it's not. So when I would drive trucks, when I was a truck driver, I had to stop listening to music all day long. I used to listen to music. Hold on, I got to take a drink of my tea. Let me turn on the music so you don't get bored. Hold on. Okay, it's on now. Now I'm going to take a sip of my tea. I'm going to mute. Hold on, don't go anywhere.
In the US was made easier by the rather early innovation of what's called neo-imperialism.
Okay, I'm back. The tea bag ripped, and I just swallowed some ground tea leaves, and it's not the greatest. Although it's also not the worst. I did used to chew coffee, so I still chew. I chew tobacco. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I tried vaping for a while. Hold on, I got to burp now. Oh my goodness. So I smoked cigarettes for years. Started smoking when I was like 10 or 11 years old. And I started chewing when I was, I don't know, in my early 20s. Started chewing in the Army. So I smoked and chewed. I basically quit smoking when I was in the Army, but when I got out, actually, no. In Iraq, I started smoking again. So I had quit smoking, but then when we went to Iraq, everybody just, it was cigarettes and fucking caffeine nonstop all the time. So when I got out of the Army, I was chewing and smoking cigarettes, and that was gross. And so I quit chewing and I quit smoking cigarettes, and I started vaping whenever that became a thing. This was years after I had been out of the Army. It's like I didn't get out and switch directly to vaping. It had been years of both smoking cigarettes and chewing tobacco. And I tried vaping for, I don't know, a year or so, and it just didn't work. It was gross. Vaping is gross. I mean, all nicotine consumption is gross. Most things are gross. But anyway, vaping wasn't for me. So I went back to chewing. So now I chew tobacco, and it is what it is. But in the Army, we would put coffee grounds in our chew. So we were chewing tobacco with coffee grounds in it. That was baller. So I've done that before, and I just, I got a little bit of that tea, and it mixed in with the chew that's currently in my mouth right now, and it took me back to Iraq. Yeah, dude, I was gonna say something. I was on a roll, and now I can't remember what it was, dude. Yeah, this new. No, it's not new, but I'm making it explicit. This reliance on the human voice. Oh, that's what it was when I was a truck driver. I used to listen to music. And I don't know, I guess it was what it was. When you listen to the radio, it's less noticeable or whatever. But and it wasn't an immediate thing either. And it really was as my shifts started getting longer, as I started working like 14-hour days, and I was listening to music for 13 and a half hours. Started really like chipping away at my fucking well-being. Like I started feeling super fucking alienated. And I think, you know, the radio helps because you have more variety in a strange way, because it is like the same like 50 songs just played like in a random shuffle. But you have like commercials, and you have like the radio DJ hosts talking, and so there's more texture to the experience of listening to the radio. Listening to MP3s, you know, listening to a playlist all day is weirdly alienating, because there's no variation. It's just the same shit, the same songs I've heard, you know, 1,000 times before, and I like them. And I'm just listening to them over and over and over again. And yeah, you know, they go hard, and it's nice to listen to music. But when it's just really the same shit over and it's not even the same shit. Like playlists are way bigger and way more diverse, I guess, than like a radio station playlist. It's not like I was hearing like the same exact song over and over again. I was hearing a lot of songs, hundreds, thousands, even way more than the radio, but there was no variation. Like it was all okay. Today I'm listening to punk. Today I'm listening to ska. Today I'm listening to hardcore. Today I'm listening to fucking hip hop. Like it's fucking weird. Like you get in this weird non-space of like disconnection and alienation. And it really didn't become a problem that I noticed anyway, you know, until I was driving for like 14 hours a day. And I was listening to music that whole time. And that's, I don't know, like 2014, 2015, probably 2015 is when I really started listening to podcasts. Before then, I don't know, I would listen to a podcast every now and then. But I wasn't a podcast bro or whatever. But when I noticed that like listening to my music all day long made me feel worse, I was like, I'm going to try, because I did experiment listening to the radio, and that just sucks. That's, you know, once you're spoiled and you don't have to listen to the radio, going back to radio just sucks. And it's fine. Like I actually, sometimes it's fine I'll pop the radio on and it's fun, you know, if we're going for a short drive or whatever. But imagine being in a fucking truck 14 hours, like legitimately 14 fucking hours. I'm not exaggerating. Like imagine being in the cab of a big old truck, and you have to listen to the bitch ass radio for 14 fucking hours. It sucks. I couldn't do it. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, homie. I'll listen to some podcasts and audiobooks too. And I started listening to as many podcasts as I could. And I even ran out of like podcasts. Like there wasn't enough. And so I would, you know, throw in some music here and there and throw in an audiobook here and there. But even doing audiobooks, you run into a similar problem with this music, because it's all kind of one way. Like an audiobook is, you know, it's dead in a way. It's not living in the same way that podcasts are. Or even, you know, the random bullshit interjections from the radio hosts and commercials and shit like that. It's just, there's a quality with, I guess, unscripted content that you really miss out on with audiobooks and with music. Although audiobooks were better because it was that human voice thing that I'm talking about. But it really was like podcasts were it. And then, you know, when you're in a truck all by yourself listening to fucking podcasts all day, fucking 6 days a week, that can also give you like a fucked up kind of alienation. But at least it was different. So yeah, I mean, it's all problematic, but like I realized I crave the human voice, and not even just the human voice, because audiobooks couldn't even satisfy me. Like I really did crave, you know, some kind of unscripted, some kind of loosey goosey, like live human voice or human voices, you know, a conversation. I think the conversation is probably better than the singleton just kind of rambling on and on and on. So if you're here and you're hearing this right now, sorry, guy, I don't have anyone else here in my office with me right now. Although my 2 puppies are here with me and they're sleeping, and I do have kids that are home and they are in their rooms doing TikTok dances or whatever the fuck it is kids do nowadays. But I'm not going to bring them on here and be like, hey, let's just shoot the shit, because fuck you guys. You don't need to know anything about my kids. I was being silly. That was funny. But no, like, yeah, I'm not going to be like, hey, come record a podcast with me. We're just going to, you know, sit and ramble on and meander and maunder. Although I have wanted to experiment with bringing my family into kind of the content, whatever the fuck kind of content it is that I generate. I've talked to my brother about interviewing him, because he's an interesting fellow. And actually, in the second half of the story I just posted yesterday, there's a photo of my brother with a bloody nose, and I took the photo and I had the AI generate just a weird fucky background, but that photo is real. The bloody nose photo is real. That is my brother. That photo is from a few years ago when we were celebrating my sister's college graduation. We all traveled and met up, and my brother and I both are sober. So I took that picture of him, and I think I texted it to my dad, and then my dad posted it on Facebook. And then my uncle called me like later the next day, and he's like, hey, what's that photo? He thought that my brother and I had gotten all fucked up, and we were like drinking and getting fucked up and like, you know, got in a fight or whatever and broke my brother's nose. But what really happened was we were fixing my sister's house. We fixed her roof. We fixed some of her plumbing shit. She's a single mom, so she doesn't have a dude to do those types of things. And I'm not saying, you know, it has to be a dude, you know, it could be anybody. But there's no one there for her to like do like regular around the house, you know, handy fix it up type shit. So, you know, hey, you know, I got to put a shingle back on my roof, or I got to fix my shower or fix my toilet or whatever. So we were trying to get a lot of it done. We were only there for like 3 days, so we got a lot of it done. My brother wound up slipping off a bucket that we had used. Instead of a step ladder, we were using a bucket so he could reach higher. He slipped, fell, busted his face, broke his nose. There was blood everywhere. It looked like a funny photo of like a drunken escapade, but no, it was vanilla. It was boring. We're boring guys, but we're also awesome. But yeah, so I really want to experiment with that, bringing my family into it, bringing my partner. Don't know about the kids. But, you know, at least the other adults in my family, I've thought about and planned to bringing them into the content, but I'm not going to bring my kids in here and be like, hey, let's shoot the shit. Yeah, that's just, I think it would be inappropriate. Now, if there was like a reason to like, you know, bring them on and have them talk about something, that's a different story. But if we're just here to like shoot the shit and do this weird, you know, disconnected type of connection, asynchronous, and it is two-way in a way, right? Because you can, if you're listening to this right now, and if I don't know you, which I assume anyone who's listening to this right now, I probably already know you. So there's that, the fact that it's two-way, that you can bring this up in, you know, the next time we have a conversation. But if you don't already know me, but you are listening to this right now, you can reach out to me. You can email me. You can DM me on, you know, the platform. Or there's, you know, the random opportunity that we'll meet some other kind of way. And it has the potential to become a two-way flow excuse me, of information and communication. It's just asynchronous. So it does maintain this quality of being at least potentially a two-way flow. And I think that's, another thing with podcasting that gives you a leg up on audiobooks and scripted content and music and shit like that. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, dude, I think I was about to say something and then I went off on my little tangent and now it's gone, but I am tired. I think I do want to take a nap. I might write about this asynchronous two-way flow communication, non-communicative communication. I don't know what to call it. I like it though, and I don't know, if anybody's really made it explicit before, but I think it's worth making explicit. I think it's worth interrogating and tarrying with. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to write about it. Maybe I'll talk about it some more. I don't know. I think I am just going to say fuck it YOLO and upload this to Substack. But maybe I won't. But I think I'm gonna. And then I think I'm gonna post up. Take a little nappy nap. And then get back to work later on in the day. So how long is this? Probably about an hour. Let's see. An hour and 11 minutes and 42 seconds right now. So maybe I'll edit. Maybe I'll add. Maybe I'll subtract. Maybe I won't. Who knows? I don't. Future me knows. And you know, obviously, because you who are hearing this right now, you're in the future from my perspective. This is past me. Past me doesn't know. Future me does know because future me already did it. And, current you, I don't want to say present because present would imply like right now as I'm recording this. But current replies right now as in when you're listening to this. So current you and future me both know what I did. Present me doesn't know what I did. But I have a suspicion that I'm going to export it and upload it with nary an eye to quality control or content editing or whatever. Yeah. And I think I'm going to just delete the video. But anyway, let me do this. I'm actually going to take a screenshot in case I need a image for this. Let's go rectangle. In case I need an image of this, then I will. Oh, Jesus, I got to stop stopping. I got to stop stopping. Or when I do stop.
Oh, shit.
Wrong button. There. We're fucked. Okie dokie artichoke. Oh, yeah, I don't need it. I can. All right, dude. Well, welcome to the Nance experience. Oh, that's already, that's the Joe Rogan experience. I can't say that. Welcome to the Nance Club. Welcome to Negative Nance, America's #1 podcast about fucking Doritos and fucking kickflips. You've just been punked. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, congratulations. You made it all the way through. I'm about to stop. I think I will upload this. I think I want to experiment with this, create a podcast posted on Substack. In addition to the shit that goes up on, YouTube and whatever makes it up here on Substack and the other places. So, this has been episode 1 of the negativity hour with your boy Negative Nance.
See you real soon.